Hey, hey, hey! How are you doing today? Good evening. Let me know when you come on while I get myself prepared. It's going to be a fairly short one today. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's staying safe. Things are changing so fast with this coronavirus. I'm having whiplash trying to keep on top of what's happening. How it goes out to all of the people that are affected by this. Right, let me see if I am live, and what I'm gonna do today is actually share it. So let me do my sharing, but say hi when you come on. Okay, so let's see, let's share this in here. Let's see, I'm sharing this to one of my groups. Okay, because it's going to be useful information for them as well. There we go. Pop that in there. And also share this to... Right, let me see. Hold on, I'm taking a minute to get into it today because I kind of want to do it all at once. So awesome, because I don't want to do something separate tomorrow. No, I can't share it straight to my timeline. No, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So say hi when you come on. This is Trust and Money TV. My name is Trust. Hi there. So I come on live every Wednesday and we talk about money, share tips, share suggestions, and just everything money. And my goal is to get people feel more comfortable talking about money and really take a hold of their finances with a focus on budgeting. So what I want to talk about today is money myths. So things that you may believe about money that probably are not serving you. So not all of this is going to be for you. Take what's useful, leave the rest on the table. That's absolutely fine. And just sort of run through them and share why perhaps it's something to do differently. Especially, I don't know if I have any business owners here, what's been happening recently, potentially going to affect them as well. So it really is the time to really, what's the word I'm looking for? Have a good idea of what's happening with your money and why it's important to be prepared and make sure you're working with information that's right for you. If you catch this on YouTube as well, just so you know, I have a whole playlist on there on the channel because I do upload it there. So do go ahead and check all of those as well. My chair's creaking. Okay, I'm going to jump straight in. I'm not going to take too long today. Myth number one that I wanted to look at is thinking that you don't have enough money to start investing. It's something that a lot of people feel that they need to have a certain amount for them to get started, but that is absolutely not the case. There are plenty of companies out there that you can start with as little as £1. I don't know if it's exactly £1 for this one, but something that comes to mind somewhere like Wealthsimple. So they are an investment organization where you can start from as little as possible and you can have that grow on there. Places like Money Farm as well. So you don't have to have a large amount to start investing. You can start small and sort of go from there, and that is how it grows. So there's no set amount, just get started. Okay, they're not all to do with investment as well, but I'm just going to knock out the investment ones at the start and run through them. Other one, thinking you're probably too young to invest. So if you're someone you feel like you're new to your career, so like in your 20s, early 20s, thinking you have plenty of time, that might well be the case, but you are basically leaving money on the table. There has been a lot of studies done, a lot of research showing that the money that you can invest the same amount of money in your 20s versus in your 40s, and in a space of 20-30 years, you would more than get double what you would have gotten otherwise if you'd started in your 20s compared to your 40s. So you are basically leaving money on the table. Yes, you might have time, but why would you want to leave the money when it's there for the taking. And the other thing as well, when you're perhaps that young, more likely to have less responsibility. That's not always the case, but that might likely be the case, and that is the best time really to get started. So that if you're thinking of retiring early, I don't know if you've heard of the FIRE movement. So that's Financial Independence Retire Early. So FIRE, FIRE. So there's a whole movement of people who are wanting to retire early. They don't want to wait until their 60s, 70s, or if it's anything like the way it's going now. I always joke that by the time I get around to retiring, the pension age will probably be something like 80 or 90, the way it's going now. So, but there are people who don't want to wait for that long, and they're diving in head first, like putting into that investment in their early 20s, so that in 10, 15 years time, they are, able to live on what the investment is paying them. Lots of people that have done it. So I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but take advantage of the opportunity of being able to invest from being quite young. The next myth is sort of the flip side of that, thinking that you're too old now to get started. So you've been in your career for decades and you've just maybe not taking it seriously or taking advantage of it. Well, the thing is, retirement's going to come. So it's never too late to get started. It's never too late, absolutely. You can get in at any point. And if something I'll add to that as well, if you have an employer that is, having contributions made to your pension and they're matching that, take advantage of that, take the full capacity there, max it out. But it's never too late to get started, and, don't let that put you off. So those were the first three. Myth number 4, let's see. Thinking that you make enough money and so you don't need to budget. Well, we all know how I feel about budget here, but that is a misunderstanding, because it's not for just people who don't make enough. That is, you've heard me say it before, and I keep saying it. It's you telling your money where to go. It's you having a spending plan, and it's the wealthiest people in the world that, believe me, they know exactly where their money is going. So don't believe someone who tells you that you don't need to do that because you make enough. I mean, why else do you see people who win the lottery and then within 2 or 3 years they're broke again? It's not about the volume of money. It's about knowing what to do with it and knowing where it goes. So it's never too much. You need a budget wherever you're at in terms of money. So that was myth number 4. Myth number 5, I know I said I was done with the investment side of things, but I'm going to jump on here again because it's something else that a lot of people try to do, but people who have made the most from the stock market, they say it over and over again, not waiting until you think now is going to be the right time to get into the stock market, trying to time it to get it in the right time. The statistics shows that more than 50% of the time, if not more than that, it's not possible to do that. You just never know. The people who make the most profit out of it are people who put the money in and just leave it there and just let it do its thing. So I think here's someone saying it's not about timing the market, it's about the length of time that you have in the market that's going to determine how much you get out of it. So if you're waiting to sort of time it, like now, for example, where, price of shares and whatever is falling down, yeah, that's probably a good time, but that shouldn't be something that holds you back, because, the best investors in the world, they try it, and what comes out time and time again, it's about just leaving it for a long period of time. Get it in there, leave it, let it do its thing. It does work overall. So that was, believe that should be number 5. Number 6, this one's a bit of I don't want this to come across the wrong way, because we're all in different circumstances, but it's believing that buying is always better than renting. Now, for some people, buying is what's right for them, but there's a difference between buying a property and owning a property. You know, when you buy it and you have all of the debt, and I know this is absolutely, what happens most of the time, but they're two different things. And buying that and taking on that loan, that is not the best for everyone. There is some evidence out there that shows some financial benefits from renting, but you have to figure out what is right for you. But it's not a blanket statement that buying is always better than renting, especially knowing that just putting a deposit down, of course, doesn't mean that you own it. So do your research, check properly that it's right for you before going ahead to do that. And the last one on my list that I want to talk about is thinking that the happiness of your family, or thinking that your family is not going to be happy if you don't impulse buy that thing that they want you to do, that is not either aligned with your financial goals or just not going to take you where you want to go. Your family, they are going to be interested in ultimately the long-term happiness, the long-term satisfaction. So it's about bringing them on board with that and helping them see that their happiness is not going to be reliant on that. And talking specifically to people like myself who've got younger children, I've got a 7-year-old, and that's a great time to get them involved in the conversation about money, helping them to understand principles of wealth, principles of money, helping them to think, yes, of course, you want to treat them, you want to just do stuff like that, but their happiness doesn't depend on that. It then shows that for children who are more rounded, who are, grow up to be well-rounded individuals, it's the time that you're spending with them, it's how you're making them feel, it's not the stuff that's going to result in their happiness. So just something to bear in mind, especially for those of us with younger kids. It's a good lesson for them as well, and really going to set them up for the future when they start handling their own money. So those were the myths that I wanted to talk about today, 7 of them. I'm not going to do a recap today because I said I was going to keep it short. So I'm going to leave it there. If you know of any more, feel free to contribute on here as well. And if you think there's someone that this will be beneficial to, share it with them, tag them in it, let them know that this is happening. It costs you absolutely nothing. And then if you haven't seen, just before I go, I am hosting an online workshop this Sunday, so that is the 15th, where we're going to budget out the rest of March at the halfway point. If you want to be part of that, leave a message below or message me directly. That's absolutely fine. It's a private group, so that it's private because we're talking about money. You need to feel like you're in a safe environment where you can do that. So it's Sunday at 8 o'clock. We're going to get our statements and look through it all, which is very exciting. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Have a good rest of the week. Stay safe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.